Maybe. I kind of like it just like this. I think I'm gonna pull out my color pencils. So I do have a booklet that carries, I believe, 144 color pencils, and I'm gonna be using the Prisma color pencils today, just because I have it on hand right now. Let me move this down. And what I could recall, this is a 2-box set. I got one in Texas and one in here near me in my local Michael's. Let's see. I'm just kind of deciding the colors I want to use. You can use whatever colors you want, honestly. You can make a blue hand, purple hand. It's all creativity. But let me try to figure out what I'm gonna do, because I still don't know. Let's see. Okay, and then I just position my hand back semi to where it is, and I kind of continue off of that. You see these are the lightest parts right here, the knuckles, the fingertip, because it's closer to you, you know, the center. These are the darker areas, so I want to use all blue, so I'm going to use all blue just to get something different out of my artwork. You can erase. I am going to erase a little bit of these pencil marks. Go over it real quickly with the light eraser, so you don't lose your main lines. You just have a little bit left over. So I can still see my lines, but it looks, and it is basically erased. Just adding my colors. This color is called Vert Jade. Oh, excuse me. Ha. Jade green. And for me, it's just a light blue, baby blue. So I'm just using a light hand just to kind of get the color down. I don't want to press too hard, because I do think I want to add another color on top of this. And if you were using regular skin tone colors, this color would be the tan, pink undertone that you would put down, or the brown undertone, whatever your skin tone is, you know. The main color would be down. So I'm just filling everything as much as I can. Not being too perfect. Okay, and the next color I want to use, I think, is this one right here. Let me sharpen it a little bit more. It is a brighter color. I will be telling you what it is. It is Prisma's, oh, it got sharpened. Light, I have no idea. Light aqua, maybe? The only thing I can guess. So I'm just going to be putting this on the edges. And like I said, I'm not, this sketchbook for me, it's experimental. Obviously, like I said, in this picture, we all know the water is not galaxy colored, and obviously we know a hand is not blue colored, but this is my enjoyment and this is something I get to experiment on. You can swatch the colors just in case you don't know what color it's gonna be. It's like this one's a little bit more greeny, this one's more aqua, and a little bit more gray. So the greeny, more darker one, I'm gonna put in the darker shade areas, which would be this area right here on the thumb. And the harder you press, the more darker and pigmented it's gonna be. And it's okay if I don't like this at the end, you know, it's totally fine. I can always go to the next page and start another one, do the exact same pose if I wanted to, you know. It's not going to be a big deal for me. You may not like the colors I choose, it may not make sense to you, but it's okay. It's like I had this painting, and I did this bear, and I did it blue. The colors I chose were blue, darker blues, strips of orange for the fur, and it's, why did I choose the blue? Because I just wanted to choose blue. I wanted a blue bear, you know, just something I want at the end. And you know, some people look at your art and they're like, why is the bear blue? Like, that's, you know, for them to think about, and maybe they'll question, why did I choose it, and gets their attention, it's an interest. Some people just like the original, a bear is supposed to be brown and that's the way it's gonna be, or black or white, whatever it is. They want to see that same generic picture. But for me, if you feel like you want to draw or paint or color anything, any color you want, I say go for it. It's your own enjoyment, it's your own fun. You're not hurting anybody by doing it. And if someone really gets that mad that you chose the color blue for, or like any color for a certain thing, and they really have the necessary time to sit there and critique, like, I can't believe you chose that color for that, like, don't let it bug you. It's they have their own, it's fine when someone says it in a certain way, like, oh, why'd you choose a blue bear like that, you know? That's fine. But when you get that tone and that, you can hear it, that why'd you choose, like, ugh, like, how dare you choose that color? Just ignore it. It's all that should matter is what you get out of this art. If I chose this color of a hand because I'm feeling blue, and blue represents a little down and, you know, upset or sad, that's just my choice. It's something, you know, I'll work on later, and it shouldn't matter to anybody else that much. So what I'm doing now with this darker green is getting the main lines in, and just deepening it up and getting more detail in there. And this is where I'm putting more pressure onto the color pencil, and it is mixing with the other colors. And I'm trying not to put lines, because obviously the outside world doesn't have lines on it. You don't see outlines. So what I'm basically trying to do is color the edges darker, not so much put a direct line on it. So on the edge right here, I have a shadow. I'm just gonna basically go in circular motions and add that darker color to it. When I start going this way, I pick up the pencil a little lighter, so that way I'm not putting too much pressure in, and I can fade it. And when I get closer to the edges, I press a little darker, so you get that darker opacity on the edges. So how I pressed really hard on these lines right here, when I go over this with the darker color with the light pressure, you'll still be able to see that darker color. And the part I'm coloring is part right here, and your hand is closed and it has a shadow. Kind of want to go, I have a darker shadow right here, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of green. And you can always go back if you lost this lighter color. You can go back in and go over it with the light hand as well and mix the colors so that way you get a more darker opacity. I'm gonna go back with that green color and start emphasizing more of these lines here. So I'm just gonna kind of curve in and curve out and go from the underneath of the finger, because I do have a lot of shadow, and I'm just gonna add in shadow. And I do have a line right here, so I'm gonna add this line in. And I have a lot of shadow underneath the fingertips, so I'm just gonna add more shadows. And if you hear noise, it is raining right now, and that's what's going on with the noise in the background.
I think for me, this weather makes me want to stay inside, not go anywhere, you know.
Okay, and then right here you see obviously our fingers touch, and that's where I'm going to put in more of the darker color blended in between these fingers. So that way you get that contrast. It's just a lot of, basically with this, it's a lot of contrast and with light and dark shades, so that way you get that effect of this is more out and this is more prominent, like basically saying like it's more porched out than this area right here. Okay, I'm gonna switch colors and I'm gonna go to indigo blue, and I'm just gonna sharpen my pencil a little bit.
So that way I have a little bit more.
Since I'm not trying to make this video too long, I'm just gonna stop there. This is basically just to show you how to quickly sketch a hand. That was the main thing. That's basically where I'm gonna stop. I am gonna actually just add a little bit more black in the background to give it more of a contrast. I'm gonna go with a deeper, a harder pressure, just to get that edges the way I want it.